Hello, this is Dr. Anne Curtis with Reconnective Healing Practitioner Help Part 3, How to Clear Your Blocks to Reconnective Healing. Even if you believe you are now ready and open to accepting the best possible healing for your body, your mind and your life, beware of hidden unconscious blocks or obstacles to that healing, particularly if you've been suffering a health condition or a life situation for a long time or on a recurring basis. If your problem has been around for some time, it's probable that you have a block to healing that you may well not be aware of. This block is most likely to be due to some inner part of you that believes you will lose one or more important benefits if you heal your body or your life. Here are some examples of the obstacles I've seen preventing some of my patients from allowing or accepting total healing. One man believed his wife stayed with him only because he needed her to look after him physically, and he was inwardly afraid that if he allowed himself to heal, he would lose his wife. In this case, when he realized what had been holding him back, this man allowed the healing and the courage that came with it to change his life, and he found that he was actually happier without his wife. The second was a lady who had been chronically anxious, depressed and weak for some years, and finally admitted to herself that she was frightened to get well because she had worked so hard and looked after so many people before her illness, and had never before had so much attention for herself, that she preferred her illness and the attention to the life she'd led before. Again, once she was able to recognize and admit to this block, she also realized she had more choices and decided she could be well and live a happier life with less stress and more love than she had done previously. The reconnective healing experience helped her to uncover these possibilities. Many others in my practice were more reluctant to face their blocks and to allow the healing, particularly those waiting for compensation cases to come to completion. They felt they needed to remain unwell and unhappy to prove they deserved the compensation. Unfortunately, this often led to many years of unnecessary suffering. Occasionally, someone who has been seeking compensation will realize, when they go through the reconnective healing experience, that not only is it a waste to hold on to pain and injury for the sake of money and revenge, but it's also unnecessary, because money and happiness come to those who make sure to enjoy positive thoughts and feelings most of the time. Whatever the reason for holding on to illness, pain, discomfort or unhappiness, there is always an underlying fear of loss. For some people, it's a fear of losing their identity. If someone has been ill or suffering physically or emotionally for a very long time, this person may see the problem or the suffering as part of their identity. Of course, suffering is never part of the person, but when someone sees it that way, he or she may be very frightened of losing himself or herself along with the suffering. These are some examples. You may have other hidden advantages and blocks. Do your best to be honest with yourself and look for any hidden advantages you might lose if you let go of your problem or your suffering now. One way to do this, if it's not obvious, is to sit quietly with your eyes closed and talk to the part of yourself that keeps you unwell or suffering. First, say thank you to this part of you for doing its best to look after your needs, and then ask it what advantages it wants you to keep and enjoy by staying ill or unhappy or weak. Listen to what comes into your mind and accept the answer or answers. Next, tell this part of you that you appreciate its efforts and ask if it would be happy if you could get these same advantages while at the same time being fit, well and happy. Explain that this is what you intend to do through the reconnective healing process, and that you need its help in allowing this to happen as easily and as effectively as possible. Listen again. Usually you will find this part is happy as long as it knows you will still get the advantages in some other way. If it is still not happy, listen to whatever other objections come up and find a way to explain that these too will be taken care of by the reconnective healing process.